me, Schill.
And I'm Ryan, and along with our 3 children, we own and operate Circle R Livestock and Revolution Wool Company. We run about 800 ewes on an accelerated lambing system, and we raise our lambs to sell breeding stock and also meat lambs to a local processor. I bought my first sheep
20 years ago?
20 years ago, yeah. Started off as 25 head and then turned into 50 head, and then it just never stopped. In 2010 we did a kind of a major barn renovation. At that time we had pigs fairly to finish. We had beef cattle
and chickens,
laying chickens for a hatchery. So
we were doing a lot of stuff, and the barn needed renovation, and we really liked the sheep, so we were able to sort of pick what we wanted to do because we needed to renovate the barn anyway. So we really liked the sheep, and that's what we focused on. And back then the joke was one day we'd have 1,000 sheep, so here we are.
Yeah, I guess at that time the pig markets and the cattle markets were under pressure for prices, so we had to do some serious planning, and we looked at the sheep business back then as a viable business. We saw huge potential, so it was just more of a matter of fact believing in ourselves and proving a lot of doubters wrong that we could do this. So we have a couple of different breeds of sheep here, but our main focus on selecting sheep are for their ability to lamb year round, because we want to produce lambs year round.
I don't know if we've done anything too unique, but yeah, it was just always our dream for both of us to grow the farm so we could both be at home full time, and that takes a lot of dedication and investment, not just in, you know, physical investment in the farm, but also in ourselves, and, you know, growing connections within the industry so that we can sell our breeding stock. You know, we're networking with the processor to make sure we're producing really nice quality lambs for that market. With the wool business too, there's been a lot of risk and investment and effort put into growing that as well, and it takes time.
Yeah, I guess the wool business kind of grew out of, we have to shear our ewes. They get sheared about every 8 months or before lambing, and that's more for animal welfare. Selling wool commercially isn't really viable. Producers don't even get paid enough to pay for the shear to come, so that's kind of where the wool business started off.
Yeah, and I'm a fairly artistic and crafty person, so it's been a nice avenue for me to use that creative side. And then, yeah, I just started, you know, it started with a little bit of yarn, it turned into pillows, it turned into blankets and bedding, and it's been a really great way to use what we're already producing and add value to that. And along with that, I think it's really important that as Canadian producers, we use this amazing natural material that's already being grown on the farm. Our customers and the public, they need natural, sustainable materials, just to sort of help, you know, with everything with our carbon footprint, our effect on the world. Because as farmers, we try to do everything we can to, you know, leave the world in a better place and keep the soil healthy, keep our animals healthy, and using wool is just one of those things that we can do too, and have our customers use the wool. Okay, so a little bit about the breeds of sheep. There's a number of different breeds that we're raising. Basically, our goal is to raise fast-growing meat lambs on an accelerated year-round system so that we can pull in that income year-round. We have Dorset based on some of our ewes, and then we push prolificacy with Rideaux and another crossbred. So because we're a little limited in space in the barns now, we only have so much land. We need to push the number of lambs each ewe produces, and how many times a year they can produce lambs. So ideally, each ewe is going to have lambs 3 times in 2 years. And if she could produce twins, that'd be really great every time. But we have some ewes that are, you know, triplets and quads, so it adds a little bit of complexity, I guess. So we have to pay a lot more attention when we're lambing, just to make sure, you know, if there's triplets and quads, that they're getting colostrum, they're getting off to a really good start. We'll let mums raise twins and triplets depending on what condition they're in, but we will raise some of those multiples on a milk machine as well.
Anybody that wants to join the sheep industry, and it's an awesome industry to be involved in, is to make sure that you pick kind of the right stock for your situation, right? So you don't want a highly prolific ewe lambing outdoors on pasture year round. It doesn't work. So I guess our advice is to make sure you pick the right stock for your own situation. Don't buy sheep from the sales barn, and you can be seriously invested in the sheep industry too. And not
It's invested and think long term.
Yeah.
Like plan. You can.
yeah, you can put, yeah, it's an easy industry to be invested long term as in. Quite often we see a lot of producers kind of just jump in and out after a couple of years, and you know, it does take a lot of work, it does take a lot of time management, but the benefits outweigh the negatives for sure.
But on a day-to-day, Ryan kind of now does, you do all the sheep feeding, you do like the daily chores and stuff. I'm doing my own stuff in the wool store for the retail business, so we very much have like our own things, so we don't spend too much time together, but you know, we've figured out, you know, systems for when we're, you know, handling sheep or sorting, weaning, things like that. We have a handling system that helps, you know, make big jobs like that easier when we're working together. Now we're trying to pull the kids in a little bit, and they have to help us too. So there's always interesting dynamics there. But yeah, day to day, I guess we do our own thing, but when it comes to sort of bigger business decisions and planning like that, you know, we'll sit down and figure out what works for us, what we think is comfortable for the farm, what I think is comfortable for me, what Ryan wants to do, and that kind of thing. And I guess we've almost kind of grown up together because we got married
Pretty young,
and we've kind of had to figure out how to do it together all along. So I think maybe that's helped us work together as well too. And
yeah.
I don't know.
We still pick on each other. Like, it's not all fun and games. You can't always be serious. We know what irks the other. We'll play on that. It's for fun too. Mm-hmm. The sheep are a nice smaller animal. Like Romy grew up on a dairy farm and I grew up on a mixed farming operation where we had beef cattle and everything. So sheep are nice and small. They're not gonna, you don't have to worry about getting kicked.
Yeah, and it's been nice with the kids growing up too. Like, we don't have to worry about them. You know, they've all had their incidents when, you know, they get run over by the sheep because they're in the way or something, but no one's gonna get hurt. So that's been really nice. And it was an easy industry to grow into. Like, it doesn't take a lot of investment to get a few more sheep. So it's really nice that way. And there was a lot of potential. The potential in income and our customer base and everything. Everyone wants lamb. Everyone wants wool. They want our product, and that's a really important thing because sure, we might like sheep, but we still have to pay the bills and get groceries. So the income's really important too.